are now listening to the Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E. and Kid.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Dad Rules Podcast, where we help you dad better. I'm one of your hosts, Mario E. and Kid. What's going on?
Not much, man. Let's get to the topic.
All right. So today's topic is rule number 13, and it is stop and smell the roses. So we're going to be talking about today, taking the time out to appreciate the little things in life. So, Kid, what do you got for us?
First thing I think about when you talk about stop and smell the roses, I start thinking about going outside, breathing in the fresh air, relaxing, just kind of kicking it with yourself, by yourself, just enjoying life.
Right.
And when I start thinking about like my life and being a father, I often think about always trying to provide, always trying to give my son the best things that I can give him, providing my wife with everything she needs. And a lot of times we get so driven with being successful and getting the materialistic things, the cars, the houses, making sure we have enough finances, just making sure that our families are straight. And a lot of times, unless you just, I'm not going to say you get lucky, but, sometimes professional athletes, they get their lump sum of money very early on. As soon as they get drafted, they get 20 million or whatever.
Like a signing bonus.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying their signing bonus is that much, but I'm just saying like their salary over the next 4 years, maybe $20 million or whatever the case is. But most of us, it takes a little time for us to build wealth and, acquire the things that we desire in life. And, it takes 5, 10, 15 years, 20 years down the road. And you shouldn't just be so focused on working and acquiring all those materialistic things that you really forget about the things that mean the most or the things that are most important in life.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes I've caught myself, maybe doing some work at home, and Jonah's not going to say, my son's not going to say, hey, Dad, pay attention to me. I need some attention right now.
Right.
He's going to kind of crawl over there where you're at, make it a little bit harder for you to finish whatever you're trying to finish. And you got to stop in those moments and give your kids what they need. And what they need is your attention. And like I said before, a lot of times the things that we value the most in life, my son's not going to value me buying him that bicycle that he wants. He's not going to value me buying him the truck that he gets to drive around in the field. He's not going to value the basketball or the football or the video games that I buy him so much. But when I can take those materialistic things and I can spend time with him. So when I'm taking him out and teaching him how to ride his bike, when I'm taking him out and I'm teaching him how to shoot a basketball, how to throw a football, or I'm sitting there watching him while he's playing his game, or I'm playing the video game with him, or we just go outside, like I said before, walking around and enjoying the fresh air, skipping rocks.
Yeah.
On the lake or in the creek or whatever. Those are the moments that he's going to cherish the most. And as a father, when you really look back, you're not going to say, oh man, you remember when we bought him this? Or, oh man, when we did this? Or when I had to buy him all his clothes and his shoes? And you remember when I had him looking so good when he went to school? That's not the things we're going to cherish. We're going to cherish the times that he made us smile, the times he made us laugh. Those moments that when we did get him materialistic thing, the look on his face and how his eyes just bulked up That's the things that matter in life. Those moments that you have with each other. You can be rich, you can be wealthy, but it doesn't mean anything unless you're around people that you care about and they care about you.
That's right.
And it's sad because it takes some people sometime a lifetime to really realize that.
Yeah.
And when you really think about people on their deathbed, at that dying moment, what do they want? Do they want the Rolls Royce that they bought? Do they want the Rolex watch that they bought? Do they want the mansion that they bought to be right there with them? No. They want the people that they love to be there.
Yeah.
So stop rushing through life and try acquiring things. And I'm not telling you not to be the best that you can be. I'm not telling you not to be successful. I'm not telling you not to strive to be a millionaire if that's what you want to do, or to even be a billionaire. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying don't get so caught up into that stuff that you forget what really matters.
Right.
Because with all that stuff, and like you said, you don't have the ones that you love right there beside you, you're not going to be happy.
Right. Yep.
That's how I feel about it.
That's very true. Very true. You know, I think of something else what you just said with that, not to cut you off, but it was you know, one of the things that someone on their deathbed is probably, you know, wanting is more time. More time with their loved ones. You know, just one more minute, just one more hour, you know, one more day, you know, and you have to appreciate those times, you know.
Yeah.
And when you're on your deathbed, you know, those moments are winding down, you know, and you wish that you had stopped and smelled the roses plenty of times during that, you know. So one things I think about, man, you know, when I think about the topic, stop and smell the roses, you know, I think about a time that has just happened not too long ago, but and I had never done it before. You've heard the saying "stop and smell the roses," and I was there was a rose bush near the front entrance of my work, and it was, you know, the roses were in bloom. Actually, they weren't roses; they were some other type of flowers that bloom. But I remember I stopped that morning and literally stopped and smelled the flowers. You know, I had never done that before, and I just, you know, I thought about it. I was like, wow, you know, I walked by this plenty of times, you know, season after season or whatever and stuff, and I had never ever done that. You know, that kind of got me thinking, you know, how many other things do you walk by every single day and you don't really appreciate it? You know,
Yeah.
and I'm talking about right now, just in nature or whatever and stuff, you know, like, have you ever stopped to like appreciate, you know, a waterfall or, you know, the sun rising, the sun setting? Those things are beautiful, man. When you think about it, I don't know. I mean, I know you spend vacations at the beach and stuff, but I mean, to get up early in the morning to see the sunrise, it's beautiful, man.
Yes.
It is a beautiful thing, you know, and you know, if you're going out and you're stopping and you're going to see the sunset or what have you, and you know you're just watching things in nature, it's amazing. It's so amazing. And too often do we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of everyday life and of just being busy.
Yep.
You know, how many times, you know, like, you know, I can think of plenty of times, you know, my wife may call me or she may text me, you know, how's your day going? You know, and how many times have I answered her back? Oh, I'm just so busy, you know, and we just get so busy with life or work or all these different things, and we're not stopping to take the moment to say, wow, this is beautiful. This, you know, or just to appreciate just some small thing, you know, being able to, you know, to walk without any assistance. That's a great thing, man. You know, being able to do just small little things that other people may not have the luxury to be able to do. And, just to me, it's just when I think about stop and smell the roses, that topic, I just think about just being grateful for all the little things that we have.
Yeah.
You said a lot, man. And, I appreciate you saying it, especially with, the whole workaholics type thing. And, how many times have you seen or heard or of someone who's a workaholic and they get so caught up in providing financially or providing a life for their family, and they do a great job at it, but not enjoying life, because they're married to their job also. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's unfortunate. And sometimes we got to take time out and take a step back, and if your family is suffering, you gotta might have to make some adjustments.
Yeah.
I remember one of my favorite TV shows, and I don't know if they got a quote from someone else, but they said on this particular TV show, it's The Wire, by the way, best TV show in the world if no one has ever seen it in the history of TV, best TV show ever.
In your opinion? That's your opinion.
No, that's fact. But anyway, one of the characters, he made a statement. He said, life is the stuff that happens while you wait for moments that may never come. So I think about when you talked about millions, someone who may be striving to be a millionaire or even a billionaire, if that's what you want to do, great. I mean, I go for it, but don't forget that life is still happening, especially if you've got kids and you've got a marriage, and you got to take the time out to enjoy those little things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was listening to a guy, he was giving a lady some relationship advice, and he asked her, how's her relationship with her father? And said my relationship with my dad is good. He was a good provider. And I think she said that, yeah, but he just used to work a lot. And I was like, you've been with your dad for years. And one of the first things that you say about him is that he works a lot. And I just, and I could have looked at it wrong, but the way I looked at it when she said that, I was like, she doesn't really have a relationship with her. She lived in the same house with him, but she really doesn't have a relationship with her dad.
Yeah.
Because he was always working.
Yeah.
And I think it's so sad because it's a lot of guys that have to work to make ends meet. They have to work to make their families have a decent life. And fathers, I applaud you. That's what you have to do. That's what you have to do. First thing is to provide and to take care of your families. But what I will say about that is you have to understand that your kids do need you, and you need to be present in their lives. And when I say you need to be present in their lives, I'm saying that sometimes it's not about chasing the dollar all the time. And I'm not saying let your kids go lacking or whatever, but it's not always wise to try and make every dime that you can get. Because if I'm working a job every day and I'm already away from my family, let's say from the hours of 7 to, well, let's say 9 to 5. I'm away from them from 9 to 5 every day. That's the job that I have to work. And let's say that takes care of the bills, and we can live comfortably like that. But then you say, hey, I'm gonna go to work at 6 and I'm gonna work to 12. you got to take a second and think about that. That, yeah, you're going to be bringing in a whole lot more money. But what about the time that you're not able to spend with your kids?
Yeah. Because you don't get that time back.
No, you don't. And that's the point. And each father has to make that decision, because I had to make it myself. That it would be nice to do this and make a little extra money. But at the same time, I value my time with my kids more.
Yeah.
And you have to get to that point where you're prioritizing work versus home life. Because I'm telling you, if you purchasing them clothes and all that stuff, that's not going to be what they need.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they rather have less money flowing in the home and have you there than to have an unlimited amount of money and not have you there.
Right.
And it may be a dad right now that's battling with that.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you what I would do. Now, for me, I'm valuing the time that I have with my son. My son is 4 years old now. I have right around 14 years to make the best man possible.
Right.
Every hour, every day, every hour, every second counts
That's right.
that I could spend with him. But if I'm not around him and I can't spend that time with him, my chances of making him the adult or man that I want him to be, it lessens my chances.
That's right.
So you got to definitely keep that. Now, one thing I thought about when you were talking was, in life, we have natural ups and downs. It's just life, man.
Right.
We know that. And in those ups and downs, don't just like not enjoy your life when you're in those valleys in life. Rejoice in those valleys. Enjoy the moment, because when you get at the top of the mountain, you're going to appreciate those times that you had down there.
Yeah.
It's going to make it that much sweeter when you get to the top.
Mm-hmm.
So every moment, and I feel like that's stopping and smelling the flowers. Every moment, cherish every moment that you have. Because it's a blessing to be alive, for one. It's a blessing to have your health and strength. So even at your lowest, you still have things that you can be positive about. And I think that's very, very important. And it's also important when we're trying to teach our kids those concepts. When you get down, don't get down on yourself. Stay positive. Enjoy these times, because you're going to come up. And when you come up, you're going to look back at those down times and you're like, man, look at where I came from.
Yeah.
Look at how blessed I am right now.
That's right.
You know, so like I said, enjoy the ups and downs, because you're not going to be in any particular season for long.
Mm-hmm. Seasons
change. So just because you're low right now or you're down right now, don't get caught up in it, because you're going through it. That's exactly what you're doing. You're going through, and you're gonna come out on the other side.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. You know, one of the things I also think about with respect to stopping and smelling the roses, you know, and I just keep thinking about it. Just enjoy your life, you know, making sure that you're doing all that you can. You know, nothing wrong with, you know, providing for your family. I feel like I just got to say that again. You know, there's nothing wrong with providing for your family, providing that life, but you have to make sure that you're taking the time out to enjoy that life. You know, I've seen so many times people that I work with, and they they work so much overtime, right? They'll work 12 hours, 7 days a week, all for what? To just accumulate more stuff, right? And I think about what you said with the young lady that you heard about who said that the dad works all the time. And I didn't know quite where you were going with that. At first I thought you were just kind of going to say something to the effect of, maybe she was ungrateful about, her dad and, like, but, you think about that statement, and I've been there. I've been there before where my daughter, this was back, maybe she was, wow, it's well over 10 years ago. And at the time I was working a whole lot. And I remember having this conversation with you, and I wasn't necessarily that I was working a whole lot. I take that back. It was, I had a job that was requiring me to be on night shift. And I had to work some weekends. And she made a statement to my wife that, she doesn't get to see me anymore. And that broke my heart. And that was one of the things that I already didn't want to be on night shift working like that. But it definitely was some added motivation for me to pursue an avenue to where I could get on a day shift job and have more of a career, as opposed to just kind of working that particular type job that I was doing at the time. But yeah, man, it's one of those things, man, where, yes, and we've talked about it on other podcasts. You have to have, you're going to have to work, and there are going to be times where you have to work hard. You should always put your best foot forward and be excellent, but there needs to be a balance to where when it's time to work and go at it hard, you do that. But then when that family time comes around, you're stopping to appreciate those small little things and not miss, your kid's first step, or not miss, your kid's first basketball game or their first practice, because those are things that you will not get back. Nah. There were some things that I missed when I was working on those rotations, when I had to work on weekends and work the night shift. There were certain things that I missed that I will never, ever get back. My wife could take a picture of, or send me a video of an awards assembly or whatever. But guess what? I don't get that back. It's not the same as being there, right? And, just take the time out, guys, and just stop and smell those roses. Be thankful for all those little things that you do get to see, and make the time that you can, make the effort that you can to be involved in those little things with your kids.
And we've talked before, I think last week we talked about having that dad council and making sure that we have strong dads that have been through things before, and similar things that we may be faced with. So when we get to that point, we know what to do. And I mean, it's obvious you're a part of my dad council, and you helped me out so much when you were going through that. Because before I was a father, and when I found my job, I said, man, this is perfect. I work in the mornings. I'm off on the afternoons. I'm off every weekend, holidays, summers.
Yeah.
And anytime extra money creeps in where I can get me a part-time job or whatever, it's like, nope. I'm not getting caught up into that.
Yeah.
It's like, no, I'm not getting caught up into that. This is for my son. And like I said, you helped me out so much, because when you told me that and I saw how much it hurt you, and you're at that point where you're providing and you're doing what you have to do. That's why I said there's a lot of dads in here they don't have a choice. They have to do what they got to do, or it's not going to be any bread on the table.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So this is not a bashing session. You got to do
Absolutely
what you gotta
not.
do.
Absolutely not.
If you could
No.
get on a better shift, or if you can get in a better situation where you can spend more time with your kids, then do that. But if you can't, man, you got to do what you got to do. You got to be
Yeah.
a little bit more creative in how you pick and find time with your kids.
That's right.
But it hurt me, man, because I love your family just like I love my own. And for her to be hurt like that, and I knew how much she cared about you, and I knew how much you cared about her.
Yeah.
And it just was like, man, that's just tough. And you were doing everything you had to do as a father. You were providing.
Yeah.
And I thought about that, and I was like, I'm not letting anything get in between it. And every little moment, like this past week, I told you guys that, Jonah graduated from preschool, and now he's actually ready to go to the pre-K program.
Yeah.
So, we're excited about that. So, that's a time that you have to take off from work.
Yeah.
You got to be there. You got to see those moments because, like you said, if a picture's sent to you, it's no going back.
Yeah.
Your little man is growing up.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be at that age. And even with our kids, man, it's like we want them to progress. Okay, he's 4 years old. He should be doing this and he should be doing that. And come on, buddy, you got to start doing this. You got to start tying your shoes and all that stuff. It's like sometimes we even get too caught up in that. Let your kids be who they are, because one day, all this stuff that you worried about, they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. So just slow down, let them be who they are, enjoy them being the kids and the babies that they are, because they're not going to be there long.
Yeah.
And before I know it, I'm going to blink, and Jonah's going to be 18 years old going off to college.
Yeah.
Or if he wants to go to trade school, or if he wants to start his own business right after college, hey, you don't know what they're going to do right after high school.
That's right.
But at any rate, he's going to be an adult. And I have to take advantage. I have to get my hugs now,
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a hugger, man.
Yeah.
That boy knows that he's loved. And I cherish every moment. And I don't take it for granted. And like I said, I'm just thankful that I have health and strength, that I can be right there with them. I can run with them right now. And, like even today, we went outside, before we recorded. And it's just awesome, man. It's awesome to see them grow. It's awesome to have those moments, because you cannot get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I'm out here trying to chase the dollar every single day, and that's all I'm thinking about, and I got them everything they needed, and then now your little man is a grown man.
Yeah.
You didn't enjoy it.
Yeah. You can't turn back the hands of time and get a do-over. And then when you're at the end of your life, you can't take any of that materialistic stuff with you. So the best thing to do is to stop and smell those roses now and appreciate it and be thankful. Give thanks for those times where you're able to see milestones. You're able to see and provide opportunities, for you and your family to see certain things. Go take a short 24-hour vacation somewhere and go see a mountain, or go to the river or something, but stop and smell those roses, man. There's so much out here on this beautiful planet we call Earth to appreciate, and to make some memories. And we owe that to our kids and the next generation to do that, to show them, just be thankful for all the things that we have and we're able to do. So.
And I hate to say it, but like our jobs and careers really get in the way of it. It really does, man, because like, I'm not gonna lie, I don't even really notice that it's really a nice day outside until after I get off from work And I can't just get off from work and ride home. I have to get from work, ride home, and then go back outside and maybe walk in the park and just say, oh man, it's a really nice day today.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
you're so focused, you're in those four walls. You're so focused on getting things done.
Mm-hmm.
And you ever took a day off in the middle of the week and you're like, man, I didn't know that the sun shined this bright this time of the day.
Yeah. Sometimes it's like that, man. Sometimes it's like that.
You know,
right?
sometimes you got to do that, man. You got to take some time, and spend time with your family, and then also take some time and just enjoy what's been put in front of us, man. This beautiful earth.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Got anything else on that?
No, sir, I do not.
All right, so let's go to the Ask Dad, and we're talking about today, stopping and smelling the roses, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about how we can incorporate that with our families. But today I want to ask you about me time. And me time is just time that you have for yourself. The wife is not there. The kids are not there. The dog is not there. It's just you doing something for you. Is that okay? And do you do that?
I definitely think me time is okay. Sometimes, being able to just be in, solitude and to just, think and just relax and enjoy, a movie that you want to see, maybe not a kid's movie, or maybe not the movie that your wife want to see, some on Lifetime.
Oh man. Hallmark.
Yeah, Hallmark channel, maybe something like that. Yeah. So
that's first,
that's sometimes you want to see an action movie, and it's
sometimes I want to watch Saw.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, it's always good to have me time, right? That's always, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I'm not here to say that how much you should have and how much you shouldn't have, but for sure, I think me time is definitely important. It can, just give you time to recharge and, refocus and, just kind of clear your own mind sometimes, just kind of have some peace, especially if you have younger kids and if they're running around the house sometime and making a lot of noise, sometimes some me time is all you need. If you can get an hour of me time when you got small kids or whatever, that can be like, it can be like that, right?
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's important. I do. You asked me also, do I do it? Yes, but it's not, for me, it's not like structured where I mark it on my calendar and my entire family knows that on Thursday afternoon from 5 to 8 is dad's me time. It's not like that. I kind of
with it, man.
Yeah, I kind of get it in where it fit in. Sometimes, it's been instances where, I'm trying to think about it. It was one evening, I think my son wanted to go to Sky Zone, which, the trampoline park or whatever, wherever you may be, they may call them something different. He did that, and my wife took him because some of the other parents that were taking the other young boys, they were all the mothers. So, she was going to be there with, I guess, some of the other mothers of the other kids. And my daughter was at work. So I chose to just stay at home. And for like an hour and a half, 2 hours, I just had me some me time. And I remember, I just sat back and I think I watched a TV show. And it was just nice and quiet in the house. And, it was just nice. So for me, I don't schedule it, but I just kind of get it in where it fit in sometime. And it's always a good thing. And I think every guy should definitely, try to, get those times in if you can. If you're feeling overwhelmed, yeah, get you some me time in. If you need to go take a drive out somewhere, and whether if it's, if you want to go play a round of golf or whatever by yourself or whatever, or you go walk around the mall or go walk somewhere in the neighborhood, whatever. But yeah, me time is definitely important for sure.
Yeah, and I think about it like, I know my wife, she goes to visit her family sometimes in her hometown, and sometimes those weekends, I can really just do whatever I want to do. I go with her a lot, but sometimes I'm not able to go. So those are times that I really get to do some things that I want to do, exactly what I want to do, just kind of relax. And, one of my favorite things to do was to go to the movies. And sometimes I just go to the movies by myself. Sometimes I have been at the movie and watched 2 movies back to back. Not the same one, but
Yeah.
I hadn't
I've never done that.
Yeah.
I've never went to the movies alone.
It's a really cool vibe to it, man. It's like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like even when you have your wife, it's kind of a responsibility there. I think it's like subconsciously, we don't really think about it, but you're her protector. So if I'm here and something pops off, I have to protect her. I have to make sure she's safe. So it's like, it's a calmness that comes over you when you don't have that responsibility there. It's not like you just taking care of your wife or nothing like that. It's not like she's a child or anything. It's just, as a man, it's just our nature to take care of our wives.
Yeah.
And, just to have to take care of yourself, it's like a refreshing feeling.
Yeah.
I've walked or ran. This is when they're here. I go for a short run or go for a walk in the park, real quick before they get up. And then that's another thing, getting up really, really early. Get up about 4:00. I can have some me time.
Yeah.
And we've talked about that before with legacy building early in the morning.
Early bird get the worm.
Yeah, and game planning with for the family. So that's a part of my me time.
Yeah.
And then the downstairs in my house, Jonah has officially named it Daddy's room. Because that's where I sit down and watch TV a lot. But
yeah,
it's not a whole lot of me time that goes on there, because if Jonah knows I'm down there, he's going to come and hang out with Dad. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I want him to feel like he can come and chill with me at any time.
Right.
Even if I'm trying to have a little me time, if he comes in there, then it's we time.
Right.
It's all good. It's all good. But I definitely feel like sometimes dads may feel guilty for having that me time. And I don't think they should feel guilty.
No. I don't think so. I think it's necessary. I think it's necessary.
Yeah. But yeah, and you come back and the beautiful thing about it, probably the best thing about it, is when you spend a little time away from your family. I know what it does for me. It makes me miss them. So when I come back to them, I'm recharged and I'm ready to go. And I have a totally different attitude than before I left.
Yeah. To me, like I said, to me, that's the biggest key to having that me time. It's time to recharge. It's like recharging that battery, and you're refreshed, you're ready to go, ready to take on more and do more. So yeah, that's the way I look at it.
Well, is that everything?
I don't have anything else, bro.
Well, guys, we thank you guys for listening to the Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E. and Kid. And right now, guys, we are signing off.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to the Dad Rules Podcast with your hosts, Mario E. and Kid. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, follow and like us on Facebook and Instagram. You can find our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podcast Addict, Breaker, and Player FM. Till next time.